We've seen a series of one-car accidents recently involving rollovers and serious injuries to passengers. I don't know if it's video games or what, but it's so unfair to, after something like this, to blame people in the backseat or say they deserved it. I don't like consoling these parents about what's happened, but I'll do it until it stops. Will you please stop? I'm Scott Hoy.
Chubby little loser, national joke. No, not chubby little loser. No. Pathetic little fat man, no one's bloody laughing. The clown that no one laughs at, they all just wish he died. He's so depressed at being useless, the fat man takes his own life. No. He's so depressed at being hated, Fatty takes his own life. Fatso?
Fatso, I like that.
Yeah, let's go with Fatso. Fatso takes his own life. He blows his bloated face off. No. He blows his stupid brains out.
But the twat probably miss.
Yes, Linda, I like that.
Yeah, so do I. It's brilliant, Linda.
He sold his soul for a shot at fame. Catchphrase and wig and the jokes are lame. He's got no style, he's got no grace. He's banal and facile, he's a fat waste of space. Yeah. Everybody sing that last line. 1, 2, 3. He's banal and facile, he's a fat waste of space. See his pop nose face. Pop, 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 pop. Again. See his pop nose face. Yeah. Pop, 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 pop. Again. See his pop nose face. Pop, 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 pop. The little fat man with the pop nose face. Pop, 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 pop. Little fat man, pop nose face. Hey. Pop, 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 pop. He's a little fat man, pop nose face.
I'm retarded?
Yeah, you might remember my song from 2010. This is my new joint. Goonin', I'm goonin'. My death is coming sooner. Pay $500 every day for OnlyFans. I can't wait until I drop the chair, my feet won't land. I'm goonin' in my goon cave. Yeah, I know that I'm a coon slave. I got 40 Twitter accounts and they're all porn. And my parents wish I was never born. Never born, never born. I eat American food, it's all corn. I think there's demons inside of it. Everything I watch, there's semen in that flick, yeah. Coolin', I just coom all day. Goonin', yeah, I'm a straight goon cave slave. It's like I'm shackled up in here. It's like I got something on my shaft and it's a disease. But I don't even touch no pussy. I don't know how I contract STDs. It must be that everything I'm touching is touching my nuts. When I get to shuffling my forefinger flute, my skin stuff. Yeah, I watch some real stick stuff. Fuck sickos is what King Cobra told me. But my goon cave, it's never lonely, cause I'm gooning 24 hours a day. I just took another hit off that glass ice pipe, yeah. And I look at Ice Spice talking BWC all night like gooning in my goon cave. I'm a straight up goon and coon slave. Yeah, I don't leave my computer chair. It's got like 3 different liquids and a lot of hair. I don't know, cause I don't ever go anywhere that I could be seen. They see my chrome dome, it is glistening. Now I'm back in the goon cave, gooning all day. Straight up 24/7 coon slave, no homo though. Oh!
guess you didn't know. As the sad story goes, baby, now I got the flow. Cause I know it from the start. Baby, when you broke my heart, that I had to come again and show you that I'd win. You lied to me. All those times I said that I loved you. You lied to me. Yes, I tried. Yes, I tried. You lied to me. Even though you know I'd die for you. You lied to me. Yes, I cried. Yes, I cried.
Hey, all right. I know it's late. I know. By the way, I'm gonna be honest. Every time I see that Mersh emote, I always have to check the internet. I saw that pop up, and I'm like, did the internet go out? Did we get mershed? I'm always paranoid about that. But yes, I just got home. Just probably 15 minutes ago or so. And I needed to get something off my chest. So that's why we're doing this. This isn't going to be super long. This isn't going to be a super long evening, but there's just something I really got to get off the old chest. So, yeah, there's just, it's, I don't, well, because I took a lot of notes too, okay? I took a lot of notes. So let me actually pull these up so we can kind of try to get into this. Hold on one sec. Where is it at? Here it is. Okay. All right. There's the cop Mersh. Were you taking notes during the day?
Was she good at sucking it, or what?
To the chagrin of everyone around me, I was that guy in the movie theater with my phone out because I had to take notes because there were so many thoughts that I had. So I went to the movies, okay? I went to the movies and I saw the new Jurassic Park, the Rebirth. It's not Superman, no, but I went and saw the Jurassic Park Rebirth today. And then, and I mean, I'm not against seeing Superman. I'm not a Superman guy, but I want to understand the new DC universe that they're trying to build out. Because I did like Peacemaker, and Peacemaker is going to still be in that. It's the only thing left over from the previous iteration of DC. So, I'd like to see what they're going to do with this Superman. I'm curious. I don't think I'm going to hate it. But I'm not like super pumped to see it. So, but Jurassic Park I wanted to see for a few different reasons. My aunt married a dude, and he would write things about what we said in a notepad while having conversations, and it always weirded me out. Honestly, I don't see a problem in that because sometimes I find that polite when I'm really trying to hear someone out and I don't want to interrupt them. Like, that's what I'll do. If I have the ability, I will write down kind of a note, you know, of like, oh wait, let me ask this question. I'd like to ask this question, or oh wait, let me touch on this. And it does weird them out, but it's like, no, I'm trying to be polite because I want to hear everything you have to say, and I don't want to interrupt you, but I don't want to forget the thing that I want to say, because that's what a lot of people tend to do. Where conversations tend to fall short with people is because they think of something and they want to say the thing, and then all they're thinking about is of the thing they want to talk about, so they're not really listening as intently as they should. And, you know, so it's actually a good habit to do. But yes, it can weird people out because they're like, why are you writing this down? And it's like, no, I'm writing down what I want to say, not what you're saying. Just relax. Never show us what he was writing about, too. He was probably doing that. I'm assuming he was probably doing what I'm talking about if he was a normal individual. So, But yeah, so I saw the Jurassic Park Rebirth, and I sat during the whole thing. And I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't a fan of it. I wrote maybe, let's see here. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different notes that I wrote down. And I know as we go through this, there's other things that I didn't even write down that are going to come to mind. So that's why I needed to get this out today. I know I wasn't going to wait till tomorrow because I also want this because this is, I should probably cut this up and post this somewhere as well. So that's what we're going to be doing. And that's it. That's really the core of it this evening. We're going to get in, we're going to get out. He also snuck into my grandparents' basement while everyone was outside, and my grandma caught him while she went inside for something else. And we have no idea what he was looking for. Maybe he was just trying to go to the bathroom, you know? Maybe he was just looking for like a Kleenex to blow his nose. Not everything is a crime, you know? Maybe he was looking to do drugs in there and shoot up heroin. It could have been a crime. The bathroom is upstairs. Who knows? He's probably the family weirdo. I mean, to put it simply, I guess that could be a possibility. That he is just the family weirdo. He could very well be that. He's like 70? Oh, well, at 70, who knows? Maybe he's got early onset dementia. Was he into copper piping and catalytic converters? Well, then you know he's got a drug problem, no matter what the age is. So, all right. As I watch the film, as I watch what is it? It's Jurassic Park or Jurassic World? What are they going with right now? Jurassic World Rebirth. Okay, so they're sticking with the Jurassic World title. That's an interesting factoid. Okay. So it is Jurassic World Rebirth. And, you know, you have the original trilogy of Jurassic Park, which, you know, was based off of 2 books. And then the third Jurassic Park was just an excuse to just add in scenes that didn't make it into the previous movies from the books, really. Like the whole pterodactyl scene in Jurassic Park 3, that's in the book. That's in the first book. And the thing is if you've read the book is a very dark, bleak, it's a horror story. And the sequel was commissioned, I believe, by Steven Spielberg because he wanted to make a sequel, but he wanted, what's his name? Michael Crichton, to write a book as well so that he could base it off of it. Plus, it's a smart business move, right? Back in the 90s, that's what you want to do. You're going to make a big tentpole movie. You want all sorts of other media along with it, soundtracks, books, action figures, you know. So it's a win-win. And I've read the sequel as well when I was in high school. I don't remember all of it, but it does deviate from the movie as well. The movie's a little closer, the Lost World movie is a little bit closer to Lost World book than the first Jurassic Park to the movie to the Jurassic Park book. The Jurassic Park, because, for example, in the book of Jurassic Park, John Hammond dies because John Hammond, there's always the archetype in the Jurassic Park movies, minus the first one. Well, no, the first one's there too, about the greedy person who's trying to risk people's lives in order to profit, right? In the first film, it's Dennis Nedry. In the second film, it's John Hammond's nephew. I can't think of the character's name. In the third, I don't remember who it was in the third film exactly. I think that's what threw off the third film. They didn't really have that. But in Jurassic World, the sequel of Jurassic World, it was the Vincent D'Onofrio character, and in the sequel, Dominion's the third one.
That is one big pile of shit.
This is very appropriate. I see what you did there. What was it? Fallen Kingdom. It was like the whole scene where the dinosaurs were up for auction. I didn't see Dominion yet. I heard it wasn't good, so I kind of avoided it. But now I do want to go see it because it's the only one I haven't seen. But anyway, there's always that person that is trying to profit, and then they end up dying trying to escape with something. And in the original book, that was John Hammond, so he actually died in that. Anyway, let's see. Before I continue, let me see here. It's topical. It is very topical. So anyway, I always imagine when The Rock asked if you can smell what he's cooking, he was talking about chili. I could see that. He's just sitting in the kitchen stirring up a pot of chili. So that was the difference. Now, obviously, Steven Spielberg is really good. He made his bones with movies like Jaws, right? He's really good at action films and suspense. And so the first Jurassic Park, he made it more palatable instead of like an R-rated horror film, which is, what the book really would have been if it was translated 1-to-1. He made it like a PG-13 adventure suspense film in the, quintessential Steven Spielberg way. And the sequel, The Lost World, also was in that way. The Lost World book is a little bit lighter in tone, I will say. So, eyes like a doll, yeah, lifeless eyes. Which honestly, in the trailers, I guess it's the 50th anniversary of Jaws this year, so they're putting that back in the theaters coincidentally. But anyway, so that's the first three. The first three is about the Jurassic, the park. About the first one is hey, we want to launch this park. Let's get some sign off from some experts so the investors calm down and we can get insured. That goes horribly wrong. The sequel is about, hey, basically, how does a corporation salvage this tremendous failure? How does InGen salvage this? And the countermeasure to that and I'm talking about the movie, not the book, because I remember that more. In the movie, it's also John Hammond, who's still alive in that version, is trying to also say, hey, wait a minute, I want this to be a preserve instead of it, being for profit, going against the corporate overlords. And so then he sends Jeff Goldblum, Ian Malcolm, and his ex-girlfriend and some other people to go there to document it so that he can make his case, right? The third one is where it falls apart because it was just a loose way to be able to, how can we get more people to the island? And let's bring back a familiar character instead of Jeff Goldblum because we can't do that again. And they're like, oh, let's figure out a way to get Dr. Alan Grant there. And it was just like the premise was weak. And because it had a weak premise, everything else wasn't supported. Okay? And that's going to be very important, especially when we're talking about Rebirth as well. So, the first Jurassic Park was so epic. The song feels, oh yeah. I mean, that is something. And I will say even Jurassic World, the first one with Chris Pratt, that was actually, I thought it was very good in the way of, it's like, hey, you know what? Now we're going to show you a version of if it actually did work. If we could actually open this into an actual park that, so it was like an alternate experience. And a lot of people could say like, oh, it's a reboot and it's going to be, it's not going to be as good. And I was like, it's not quite comparable to the originals for various reasons, but it was an interesting concept. I remember I saw that in the theater twice, once regularly, and the second time I took a bunch of edibles and I watched it in 3D. So that was the other version. And then Dominion I saw not Dominion, God, I keep saying Dominion. I've never seen Dominion. Fallen Kingdom I saw in the theater as well, but just regular. I gave up after the second movie. The fact that they made 4 to 5 more after part 3 astounds me. Don't some of the original actors show up in the World sequels? If so, not a reboot at all. Oh, yeah, it's not really a reboot. Yeah, the park was rebooted. Not the series. The park was rebooted. Again, it was in the same universe. And in the first Jurassic World, they feature a cameo from Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm to tie it to the world that it's in. And in Dominion, I keep saying fucking Dominion. In Fallen Kingdom, Jesus Christ. Fallen Kingdom, I don't know if there was any further cameos in that. I don't know. I know that they featured a little bit of Jeff Goldblum. I don't know if it was actual footage or just pictures of him in the background of stuff. But in the third one, Dominion, they brought back everyone. They brought back Dr. Grant and Sattler and Ian Malcolm. But I haven't seen that one yet. I don't know anything about that, so I can't even weigh in on it. Stop thinking about the voting machines. I know that's what it is. It's really the voting machines that are on my mind right now. But I thought that it was an interesting concept. Fallen Kingdom was the premise, it had half of a premise. The first half of the movie was actually the weakest part. What was actually interesting was the experience when they were in the mansion. And now you have because now it turned into more of it kind of turned into more of a film kind of like Alien, where there's a monster in a tight space that you're trying to escape from, right? And it's in a different area, right? That's kind of the vibe in the second half of the film. Whereas in the first half of the film, it's just this loose concept of we need to take the dinosaurs off the island. But also, InGen is also kind of doing that again, like in The Lost World. So it was like half of a concept. So my guess with Dominion, because I haven't seen it, is it probably has an even worse premise than that, and that's why people hated it. But I don't know. I have to see it, so I don't know. But that brings us to Rebirth, okay? And the premise is pretty weak. Let me just read you the first note that I even wrote down in the theater. Well, actually, the first note that I wrote down was the clothes are too perfect. Why is no one sweating? There's a problem. Okay, so this is a problem with a lot of films. It bothers me. Oh, I know. I took notes. I got like 16 lines of notes here. I was sitting in the theater. I was just writing notes. The dinosaurs should be in Costa Rica, right? In or around? Yeah. So I'll explain the premise. Just don't worry. I'll get there. But yes, this is an issue that I see in modern movies, in even modern TV shows. They don't dress actors anymore for the actual conditions that they're in. Like, they'll pick out a costume of whatever the thing needs to be for the environment, but it's literally off the rack, and it takes me out of it, because it's like, wait a minute, if this person is supposed to be, like, as you said, in and around Costa Rica in the hot, sweating, humid, heat, doesn't matter that they haven't started the adventure yet. This person's been hanging out at an outdoor bar on a dock somewhere in the hot sun, in the heat, sweating. You don't think that the white wife beater that they're wearing might have like wet sweat stains, or maybe even not even stains, but just like wet splotches on it because they're actually sweating, where it's clinging to their body? Like, everything is just pristine, as if you literally went to the store and picked it off the rack. And it's not just this film. It is so many films for probably the last 15 years, and TV shows. It drives me crazy. They were in a studio. You're watching a cartoon. I'm not even talking just this movie, though. Pull out any movie, and then you compare it to something like Jaws, or like the original Jurassic Park, or any movie probably up until the 90s till about like early 2000s, where they will wear clothes as if it's their clothes. Maybe it's not perfect. Maybe this person's bit of like a kind of a slob, and they're a fly-by-night person, flying by the seat of their pants. So obviously they're going to be a little disheveled, and they're not going to be perfect, and it's going to be a little wrinkly, and it's going to be a little worn. Maybe they don't have this is somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, so of course they're going to have very worn clothes. Like, it drives me up the wall when I see that, because it's such an easy concept. And it's like, you just say, oh, let's just buy you're not, that's part of the art. is you're supposed to sell me this concept. So anyway, that's not just this movie, but that's with a lot of them. The shit you're doing with this movie, I do with video games, mainly more modern games just came out. I get so mad at how lazy some studios are. And that's the thing, it's lazy, but they have the budget. You have this unlimited budget almost. So you can buy costumes and you spend a little time and make it, understand what the scene is and try to think like, how can I make this look as realistic as possible for this character? Because it takes you out of it. It does make it seem like it's a cartoon. So anyway, how do I want to start this? Okay, let me start with this. Okay? There's a scene from the original Jurassic Park that kept playing throughout my head while I was watching this movie. And let's see. I think it's is this it? This has got to be it. It's got like 4 million views. It's this scene here that you know, right?
Guests, of course, can opt for our jungle river cruise or for a close-up look at our majestic...
None of these attractions are ready yet, of course, but the park will open with the basic tour you're about to take. And then other rides will come online.
I bet Shia LaBeouf thinks of that stuff when he's in movies. To be honest, Shia LaBeouf probably does, as he should. That sells it. You know, that's a more realistic, you know, approach to selling this concept that you are in this movie. Okay, for example, look at this scene. These people are not wearing things that are off the rack. Look at the clothes of like Dr. Grant when they show the scenes of him. They're kind of dirty. It's kind of scuffed up, wrinkled. Even Ian Malcolm's stuff isn't even super pristine, you know? I like big-brained and detail-oriented people like Hideo Kojima. I haven't really played too many of his games. But yeah, let's...
12 months after that, absolutely spectacular design, spared no expense.
And we can charge anything we want, $2,000 a day, $10,000 a day, and people will pay it. And then there's the merchant.
This is, okay, so I'm going to show you this scene, but I want you to understand the concept of it, okay? I, as the viewer... I am Ian Malcolm here, okay? The lawyer and John Hammond is Universal Studios and the people in charge of making Jurassic Park Rebirth, okay? I want you to understand this. This is just let this play out. This is, so John Hammond and the lawyer is Universal Studios and the director and the writers and all the people that wanted to push this movie out of Jurassic Park Rebirth or Jurassic World Rebirth. I am Ian Malcolm as the viewer, okay? And I kept thinking of this scene, and it really is like, I find it very ironic that this scene from the original film really encapsulates my thought of Jurassic World Rebirth.
Of course, can opt for our jungle river cruise or for a close-up look at our majestic...
None of these attractions are ready yet, of course, but the park will open with the basic tour you're about to take. And then other rides will come online 6 or 12 months after that. Absolutely spectacular design, spared no expense.
Yeah, they're just telling me about this.
We can charge anything we want, $2,000 a day, $10,000 a day, and people will pay it.
They'll pay it. We're going to make all the dinosaur toys, and the kids will come, and they're going to like it, and we can, you know, make little action figures, and you know, we can put this on DVD and we can put this on Netflix, and it's going to sell a lot of tickets because people like to see dinosaurs, and we're going to make all kinds of different dinosaurs and stuff.
And then there's the merchandising.
Yeah.
Donald, this park was not built to cater only for the super rich. Everyone in the world has the right to enjoy these animals.
Exactly. Everyone in the world has a right. Hey, make the film so it's easily digestible for people in China, in Europe, in South America, and all this other stuff. So let's just kind of pull it all together. It's exciting, isn't it?
They will. What, we'll have a coupon day or something.
Gee, the lack of humility before nature that's being displayed here staggers me.
Well, thank you, Dr. Malcolm, but I think things are a little bit different than you and I had feared.
Yeah, I know. They're a lot worse.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I think that the lack of humility in trying to just slop together another Jurassic World movie with no real, thought behind it is staggering to me.
Oh, wait a second now. We haven't even seen the part where Amy...
Donald, let him talk. There's no reason. No, I want to hear every viewpoint. I really do.
Yeah, don't you see the danger, John, inherent in what you're doing here? Genetic power is the most awesome force the planet's ever seen, but you wield it like a kid that's found his dad's gun.
Yeah, and that's the concept of Jurassic World Rebirth, is they're going to an island with all of the weirdly genetically mutated dinosaurs. So now you're seeing newer dinosaurs than you would ever see in the previous movies. It's trying to rebirth it, trying to relaunch it of like, hey, we don't have to keep revisiting velociraptors and T-Rexes and stuff like that. Now we have these weird alien-looking dinosaurs.
It's hardly appropriate to start hurling generalizations.
If I may, I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using here.
Yeah, I'll tell you the problem with the structure and the story and the way you're making this film here.
It didn't require any discipline to attain it.
Yes.
You read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it.
That line echoed into my head the entire time I watched this film. You didn't take any discipline to attain what you're trying to achieve. You're standing on the shoulders of those before you, and you're trying to take the next step. And it's just a mishmash of blah. It really was. It really was. That's my biggest complaint, is there's only one scene in all of the scenes that they try to set up for in this movie, in Rebirth, that actually works. And you know what that scene was? It was the one scene that incorporated a familiar face, the T-Rex. And it was the whole scene, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, there's a whole sequence where they're trying to launch an inflatable raft and escape a T-Rex chasing them in the raft. Now, that was supposed to be a sequence in the original film. And so it's like it stood out from the rest of the movie, where I'm like, oh, the suspense is here. You've set this up. This scene is set up so perfectly. And it's this girl, okay. So I'll get to the actual story in a minute, but just understand that the scene is, it's a family. It's a father, 2 daughters, and one of the daughter's boyfriends. Okay. And the oldest daughter sees that, oh, there's a boat I can get out of that thing over there, out of this little shelter. She goes over there to get it and realizes that as she's pushing this inflatable raft down the dock, that there's a T-Rex sleeping next to her. And she ends up opening the raft, and it wakes up the T-Rex. And then they all are able to quickly try to hop onto this raft before the T-Rex realizes it. But of course, as they're in the thing, they're trying to paddle away, and the T-Rex is kind of chasing them down. If you've ever ridden the ride at Universal Studios, it's kind of like that, actually. It's kind of like that. And it works so good because the real suspense there. There's a scene where the raft flips over and all the other people are able to get away from the T-Rex, but the youngest daughter, who's probably like 8, is stuck underneath the raft, and the T-Rex is trying to get through there, kind of like in the first movie with the truck, when they're parked outside of the gate when it's raining. And it was this whole, like, that worked. But the rest of it, every other scene they set up, they didn't do the work to make me invested in what's going on. They didn't take it. It was like they took there was no, as he says here,
power that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it.
Yeah. And because of that, I am not invested as the viewer. I don't give a shit about what's going on. I was getting bored. I had to take 2. Usually I'll hold myself if I have to go to the bathroom. I took 2 piss breaks. One I had to take a piss, and the other one was like, I kind of have to go. It's getting slow. And I took another pee break. The raft blew up in the T-Rex tummy, and the T-Rex turned into a raft. They all jumped. Yeah, I see what you did there. Let's see. They fed him an inflatable raft and pulled the... Yeah. You tried to walk on water, but you didn't realize you were on a boat. So anyway, all I was thinking about is every single sequence they set up. I was thinking of this line here, over and over in my head.
Scientific power that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
that is one big pile of shit.
It was. And that's what it was. It was just this rough set of ideas. Let's just throw it all together and put it out as a movie, and here you go. And really, what I think the original concept of this film, what it originally started to feel like was like, oh, maybe they're going to try to take a darker approach to this and lean more into the horrors of, genetic mutations and this, that, and the other, and trying to play God. They didn't lean into any of that. There was nothing. There was no the moral, kind of weight of someone trying to play God and creating a Frankenstein monster that's there to destroy them at every turn was absent. The sole purpose for them to... So, all right. So I'm going to give you spoilers. Spoilers. Like Alien Resurrection Dark. Yes. When I was watching the trailer and I kind of saw what they were setting up for with their version of whatever this T-Rex mutant thing is, I was like, oh, this will be interesting because it is going to be this mutated monster. And yeah, maybe they're going to take like a alien resurrection type, or even what's the newer one? The other one that just came out, Romulus or whatever the fuck. Maybe something like that, And yeah, something where it's going to be like, let's get it back to the basics. Not Prometheus. That's some... No. But it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was just a slap together excuse to get him back to the island. And I say this, and then I'm just laughed at by the film.
I don't think you're giving us our due credit.
Yeah, the film's talking to me. This is when I'm making these notes, and I'm thinking this is what the film is telling me.
You want to sell it. Well,
just laughing.
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, our filmmakers are doing things that no one's ever done before.
Giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
And that was the other line that kept going in my head. They thought so hard about whether or not they could make this film in this way, they didn't stop to think if they should. And they probably shouldn't have done it this way. They probably should have went back to the drawing board and took the time and the discipline to have an actual unique vision, which this film does not have. This film does not have that. This film doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't. There's 2 different versions of the film in this film. They couldn't figure out what they want. Do they want to have, hey, it is a kind of a civilian trying to survive, civilians trying to survive on this horror island, so a father, his daughters, and another young person trying to survive this without any other knowledge? Or is it a bunch of badasses trying to get in there and trying to muscle their way in there to make massive amounts of profits? We can go with that type of movie, and they did both because they separated both groups of people on the island. So most of the film Those two sets of people, the badasses that are going there for profit and the civilians that are got trapped up in a shipwreck and are stuck on this island, it's all happening concurrently. And neither need the other to make the story work. Turns out magic black goo made the dinosaur. Yeah, if Ridley Scott did this. But I'll be honest, if Ridley Scott made this movie, it would have been a better movie. They were calling you sucker while they took your money to the bank. Yeah, the monster movie with the sci-fi elements. They couldn't pull it off. They couldn't. They could not pull it off. It wasn't. The suspense wasn't really there except for that one scene with the T-Rex, and it didn't need. You don't need the T-Rex to create the suspense. It could have been a different dinosaur, but it just didn't. They just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Condors. Condors are on the verge of extinction. If I was to create a flock of condors on this island, you wouldn't have anything to say.
No, hold on.
Yeah. I'm like, we could have what? We'll give you another Alien film? What do we want you to do? Or maybe we can just reboot the whole franchise?
This is some species that was obliterated by deforestation or the building of a dam.
Yeah, this wasn't a film series that was ended just because, people just weren't interested and you have to find a new take to it. Or that maybe like the original Batman run, that it was handed off to the wrong people and it was just really just pissed off the fan base. No. This film series ended as best as it could, considering that you got 6 movies out of it.
Dinosaurs had their shot.
Yeah, the movies had their shot here, so you need to do something. If you're gonna start working with this, you got to take it back to basics. You got to have a disciplined look at it. You got to have an actual expert that actually understands the type of film they want to make, to have an original vision to it. Because we can't keep regurgitating the same shit over and over again.
Nature selected them for extinction.
I simply don't understand this Luddite attitude, especially from a scientist. I mean, how can we stand in the light of discovery and not act?
Yeah, that's the filmmakers again. How can we stand in front of this intellectual property that we have, that we can make millions and millions of dollars with, and not do anything with it?
Oh, what's so great about discovery? It's a violent, penetrative act that scars what it explores, what you call discovery. I call the rape of the natural world.
Yeah. Wait, we have a raid? The alert didn't come in. Who's raiding us? Who came in with a raid here? Is that a... Matt Mad came in. I was on Kick with a host. Thank you. Welcome. That's what was going on here. We were talking about, I just got back from watching Jurassic Park Rebirth, and I sat in the theater, like I said, to the chagrin of everyone else around me, and I just took a bunch of notes here, which we haven't even gone down. All I've just started with is, all I've started so far is, as I watched the film this evening, all I thought was this scene. And I was Ian Malcolm in this, and John Hammond was the filmmakers. And I was saying, what you walked in at is the final argument. Sounds like some content? Oh, yes. How's the stream? We just got started, but that's what we're working on. We're trying to review this film. Not this one, but the Rebirth. This one. The new one that just came out.
In the light of
Yeah. So as the conversation, the imaginary conversation between me and the film took place.
Hold on. This is some species that was obliterated by deforestation or the building of a dam. Dinosaurs had their shot, and nature selected them for extinction.
Yeah. Okay. You gave a set of directors a set of films to make, and they made those films, 6 films to be exact, and they ended it. to the best of their abilities. Okay? Some better than others. You know?
I simply don't understand this Luddite attitude, especially from a scientist. I mean, how can we stand in the light of discovery and not act?
Yeah, and that's where you guys came in. Is the film sitting there and saying, how can we sit on this intellectual property worth millions of dollars and not make another film? And I, in response, say this.
So great about Discovery, it's a violent, penetrative act.
Yeah, what's so great about having to reboot a franchise? It's a violent and penetrative act, which you call a reboot. I call the rape of the natural world. That's what I call it. Okay? I heard it was mid. At least Scarlett Johansson was still hot. Yeah, but she was so distracting in the film. She was attractive, but she was shit in it. So that brings me to one of my first points in this, I guess you can call it a review. Okay? Was that the acting. The acting. I wrote down Marvel acting versus traditional acting. This is traditional acting. These are trained actors, very well-trained actors. They've all been in very prestigious films in their day. They're very, very good at what they do. And then you have what happens now, which I call Marvel acting, okay? And Marvel acting is kind of cartoony, and they're always going to be, they're just kind of above it, and they're kind of flippant with everything that how they say their lines, and they're never really committed. They're never really selling you on the actual, like, their character. Their character is just a cartoon. Whereas when you watch this film, or even the sequel, when you watch The Lost World, okay, which some people don't quite like, I prefer it, to be honest with you, but I understand people that don't like it. And if you look at the way that the acting is in this, there's a entire sequence in the beginning. I'm just, let's see. What do I want to look up for the scene? It's the scene where Jeff Goldblum is on the island and he realizes his daughter snuck onto the in one of the vehicles and snuck onto the island. Okay, I liked The Lost World. It was a good movie. I thought it was very good. I liked it because it was still a Steven Spielberg film, and so the suspense. And we're going to get to the suspense elements in the new one versus the older ones, where the suspense elements in the originals, they worked. They did the legwork. They earned that suspense that you're in. They earned it. They did the legwork. And the suspense wasn't due to just some giant dinosaur smashing big things. Okay? How about this? How about was the T-Rex attack? Not the San Diego one, but in the camp. Yeah, this is maybe not even this one. Where's this one? Okay? Right? What's the suspense here? The T-Rexes came to try to rescue the baby T-Rex. They flipped over the big RV, and it's dangling over the edge. It's raining. This guy's trying to save the RV by trying to pull it back with his vehicle here. And, of course, they come back. And then, so now you're getting the big payoff. Because now we had the suspense, and now they're amping it up. And so he's still trying to save them. And he's terrified in fear. Yes, and they used practical effects, which was very evident in this movie. They did not use practical effects. It took you out of the film. There were so many scenes where I'm like, yeah, they're literally just in front of a green screen because they're not even. There was a scene where they're over a cliff, and they have to like do some cliff climbing or mountain climbing type of shit. And as they panned over the edge of the cliff to show the characters up there, the lighting, the color correction on the actors did not match the scene behind them of what they were looking at over the cliff. And I was like, it's 2025, bro. I can do that in Premiere. You have an unlimited budget. How do you fuck this up this bad? Like, There's scenes in the what was it? The Godzilla from the 90s with Ferris Bueller. I mean, there's scenes in that look cheesy as hell, and there's scenes from that movie that look better than Rebirth. Fucking almost 30 years after the fact. So look, they're making you earn the suspense. He's trying to still save the people in the trailer. The T-Rexes are ripping this thing apart. He's trying to fight them, and then what does it get hung up on? Such a realistic thing too, because I've had a vehicle that had like the netting between the seats, and there have been times where I've dropped shit and it would get stuck, and you're like, motherfucker, you can only grab it with like 2 fingers, and you're like, fuck, it's caught on the fucking net between the seats. And it's so realistic where just the tip of the gun is caught between that fucking netting, which is so realistic. And you're like, oh my God, I've been there. I understand that. I understand what this is. And they've done the legwork. They've thought through this. They had a vision that's realistic. It's believable. It's not too, I mean, I'm going to say it's not too over the top. I mean, there's giant dinosaurs chewing a vehicle in front of them. I mean, that's what it is. But for the scene, it just works because they actually, again, they had the discipline to attain that suspenseful scene.
With the scientific power that you're using here, it didn't require any discipline to attain it.
Right? And then finally, yes, then he's done for. And then on top of that, the scene ends, and you're like, oh my God, what are they gonna do? And this is after a whole suspenseful scene where the thing falls and then they fall into the glass and it's slowly cracking underneath there. I mean, it's nothing. Anyone who shits on this movie, which, listen, the Lost World, I get it. It's got its flaws. I can understand why people don't like it in comparison to maybe the first one. I get it. But in comparison to the newest ones, this does all the work. It earns every money shot in this film. It earns it. It did the work. It really, really did. We could make a better movie about a man who sells cum to dogs. I just saw that. Yeah, everything is corny and a joke and fun and great and love everything. Yeah, that's the way the actors act nowadays. It's that Marvel acting. I didn't even get to an example of the acting. I'm sorry. I got off on a side tangent on the... well, actually, I did write it here. Let's see. Let's see. Characters aren't taking their situation seriously. What is the tone? Is the suspense suspenseful is the question I ask myself. Are we earning the deaths that we're seeing in the film? And the answer is no. In Rebirth, we're not earning them. Let's see. Is where the actual suspense occurs. Oh, I don't know. I must not have finished the note here. Oh, no. The too cool for the room attitude kills the movie. The family plot is where the actual suspense occurs. That's what the note was, which is true. Because you have all the badasses here. Let's bring up the... Well, let's finish the idea of the acting first of all. So let's take a look at. I think some of the best acting was in this scene in the first film. There's a lot of great scenes in the first film. There's the layered dialogue in the first film. Just this scene alone here. Power goes out. Is it this one? After this, we need a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World tier list. We could do that. Uncharted 2 pretty much had this scene in it. By the scene, I mean the RV falling.
It did it all. But with the key checks off, the computer didn't file the keystrokes. So the only way to find them now is to go through the computer's lines of code one by one.
How many lines of code?
This isn't the scene I want. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Jurassic Park. I think I remember I looked this up years ago. Dialogue. This is it right here. This is it. This is such a well done scene here.
Man, radio's out too. Janera said to stay put.
Kids okay?
I didn't ask. Why wouldn't they be?
Kids get scared.
Yeah. Oh, the radio's out. Oh, the kid's okay. Yeah, well, you know. Or no, the kid's okay?
Kids okay?
I didn't ask. Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah, why wouldn't they be?
Kids get scared.
Yeah, the kids get scared. Let's go.
What's scared? That's just a little hiccup in the power.
I didn't say I was scared.
Yeah. So it's able to reveal the writing is good enough. Look, I'm not saying this is fucking Citizen Kane, but the quality of writing is good enough where in this moment of dialogue with Ian Malcolm asking about the kids, it is able to expose the fact that he's actually frightened right now. And it's able to be passed on. None of the dialogue in this new movie comes anywhere near this. No, just this sequence. There's nothing in that film that comes close to this sequence of writing at all. Not at all. Just take this in for a second.
Man, radio's out too. Janera said to stay put.
Kids okay?
I didn't ask. Why wouldn't they be?
Kids get scared.
What's to be scared? That's just a little hiccup in the power.
I didn't say I was scared.
I didn't say you were scared.
I know.
Yeah. He knows he didn't say he was scared. He's saying he's scared. You just don't have that quality. That quality isn't there anymore. It's just Marvel acting. It really is. Let's take a look at the... let's see if there's any Jurassic Park Rebirth scenes. There's a trailer. I know it's only been out a couple weeks. That's in the beginning. A cinematic abortion. Yeah, it's not good. So let's take a look at the trailer so I can at least set the tone here. And I can kind of expand on some of the stuff here, especially if you haven't seen it. Spoilers, though. Spoilers.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett. I'm a mission specialist.
Sorry, what mission?
This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God. Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less?
Like that. Just that sassy, like, what?
I mean, more or less.
More or less? He's your guy?
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
Move up towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Ooh, little sassy dialogue. Ooh, that's so great. Because he's such an expert and so cool.
Maybe we should make it quick.
By the way, the first half of this trailer, the first minute of this trailer, you may be thinking like, oh, this must be a shortened explanation of what's actually happening in the film, of why they're going there. No. Honestly, you can cut out the first 20 minutes of the movie and just watch the first minute of this trailer. That's as deep as it gets. We got to go to an island. Why? We're going to get samples. Why? There's heart disease we can cure. Okay, cool. Sassy dialogue. Okay, some scenic shots to kind of.
That is one big pile of shit.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. That's it. That's the whole lead up. The first minute of this trailer literally saves you probably 20 minutes of the film on the front end. So you can show up to the movie 20 minutes late, even after the trailers, and Just watch the first minute of this trailer. You got everything. You got everything. There is no setup. There is no discipline done here. They haven't earned anything. The filmmakers did not earn anything. And so when I'm watching these action sequences, which I think could be cool, like I want to like it, but there's nothing in there to pull me in. Like this whole sequence with this pterodactyl was one of the later ones in the movie. I didn't give a shit. It just was rushed together, and all of a sudden, oh, we're in Pterodactyl Town. Well, we got to get their last DNA thing. I know he's going to show up, and I could pick exactly who they were going to kill off. It was so obvious. There you go. By the way, that's the highlights of the entire pterodactyl sequence, which goes on for about maybe 10 minutes, minus the person who gets eaten. And when you see the movie and you see the scenes get set up, you're like, oh, I already know. I know who's going to get eaten. I can already tell.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst.
Wait. What did he say?
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst.
Did he say, please don't say they're raptors? I don't think that scene was actually in the movie. I don't remember seeing that. Because as far as the velociraptors, by the way, there's only a cameo of velociraptors. This kid is taking a piss in the woods, and you see in the background two raptors trying to like sneak up on him. And then some pterodactyl thing comes down and kills one. And then he finally is able to peek because he's so scared. He doesn't even see what happened. You know, they'll probably be in the uncut version. Maybe. Yeah, maybe there might be a whole other raptor sequence they cut. There is, instead of velociraptors, at the end, there are these kind of like, there's these flying dinosaur-looking things that act like raptors a little bit. It's very similar. Where it's very reminiscent, like they're trying to tap into the original film where some of the kids are hiding behind shelves and trying to sneak through, and kind of like what they did in the first film when they're in the kitchen. Endoraptor, maybe, I don't know.
Worse?
Yeah, rape doors.
We're left here.
Come on! And then there's that thing. There's this thing here, this little like alien. It looks like the fucking alien from Cloverfield, and it's fine. Okay, if you want to make that. So when I saw this and I saw that this was gonna be the fucking big scary thing, I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna go darker, dude. Outside of the beginning and at the end, you don't see this thing. They don't ever fucking lead up to it. It's never talked about. This thing isn't even why they're on the island. This is not even one of the dinosaurs they're even looking for. It just shows up it's in the beginning, in a flashback, and it just shows up at the end. And it just shows up randomly. Again, it's not even earned. The reveal isn't even earned at all. They did nothing to earn this reveal. Why should I give a shit about whatever the fuck this is? Yeah, the D-Rex. Here comes the movie line, airplane zoom. Come on! Duncan! That's what I was saying. And yeah, the guy's name is Duncan. They keep yelling the name Duncan. I'm just thinking of my cat because I'm so checked out of this movie. I'm just thinking about my cat now.
We put ourselves in a place.
Yeah, this little sequence with the T-Rex and the little Dilophosaurus, and this was the only good sequence in the whole film because they actually earned the suspense. They did the legwork.
We don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
What the hell are those?
And then here's a great example. Like every scene that Scarlett Johansson is in, She's wearing a brand new out-of-the-box shirt. Like, this bothered me because I'm like, listen, I don't have shirts. I mean, this is a woman's shirt, but I have, like, plain T-shirts, like, you know, like the Amazon Basics. This is like a woman's Amazon Basics shirt, right? And I know if I'm sweating in it, bro, it just fucking, like, and she's supposed to be soaking wet with humidity and water on a boat, and yet her clothes are bone dry. Everyone's clothes are bone dry. It takes you out of it. There's no craft in it. There's no art in it at all. They gave her this shitty spray tan in this movie. She's got throughout the entire thing in the beginning. In the beginning of the film, you see her look the exact same way. And she's got this weird spray tan on, and she's got these super white teeth, veneers, and you're like, what is going on here? And it's basically the base, so that when they put her in the island and they put a little schmutz on her face, then it looks like, oh man, she's all dirty and she's all, like, you know, worn down from the elements. Like, this is a movie that's all about practical effects, makeup, you know, special effects, and they just did a shitty job with all of it. All of it. You guys are sending me a bunch of links. I haven't clicked on any of them. I'm going to just hold that for a second, because I've seen like a bunch fly through here. I haven't clicked on anything. So now I got to get through the rest of some of this first, and then we'll start exploring some of this. They had to leave Scarlett dry so Colin Jost could lick her constantly. Read my message above it to understand why I said the airplane zoom sentence. There's a whole thing. Well, the problem is Hollywood people think the mass part of middle America, aka the flyover states, and the hardened brains from smartphones and internet make people too dumb to understand deep logical conversations and solve any amount of hidden underlying meanings, because they are so patronizing and condescending about the majority of the country, so they simplify the movies for our dumb baby brains. Yeah, which is crazy, though, because at the same time, those people are the ones that rewatched the originals that had the art in it, and they will continue to rewatch them on the streaming networks, and that's why they keep putting them on the streaming services. You know? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, that's not... It is patronizing. It's like, this was just... It's like, look, if you want to make a kids movie, just make an animated kids movie. Don't do this half in, half out stuff. As I wrote this down too, this was one of my notes here. This was, see, the characters don't start authentically. What I mean by that is the setup of these characters are not, there's no like basis to them. If you go back to the original film, what is the basis of it? Dr. Grant's out there digging in the dirt, you know, with his partner in either the study or a romantic partner, whatever's going on there. And they're out there digging in the dirt, trying to figure out like trying to do their study. They don't make a lot of money doing this, but they're passionate about it. They're very knowledgeable about it. It also lays the groundwork that, you know, that Dr. Grant doesn't like kids, and that seems to be a rift in the relationship with the Dr. Sattler. In that, you know, is the fact that maybe the relationship could, you know, go further, but it doesn't like kids. And so a couple things are set up there. Number one, he has an arc. He has an arc where he grows as a person, because now he has to be stuck with two children and actually help them survive while they're stuck in the park there. So there's like this growth of his character, and he's able to like become a better person at the end of it, right? Which happens not at all in this film. That happens in no way, shape, or form in Rebirth. There is not one character that you say like, oh, wow, they really changed here. I mean, you could maybe, but you don't even give a shit enough about the character because they're so two-dimensional that I guess it's like on paper, yeah, you could find out like, oh, Scarlett Johansson goes to the island because she's going to get paid $10 million. But at the end, she realizes that she's going to finish the job and just give away the knowledge that they've gained instead of trying to profit off of it. Okay, but that like there's nothing tying. She doesn't have like they don't like, okay, so she wants the money. Why? What is the grounding thing in that? Does she have kids she needs to take care of? Is there a ailing relative? Is there some sort of foundation she's trying to work on, a project? So with like Dr. Grant in the first one, they have an entire paleontology dig that they're working on, and it always is in need of funding. And John Hammond shows up and says, hey, come visit my park and I'll keep funding your dig into perpetuity or whatever. And then he's like, fuck yeah, let's keep that going then. Great. There's a reason why he needs to go. There's a motive there, which doesn't happen in this. But not defending them, but I bet Hollywood sees how popular and profitable dogshit Marvel movies, and so they don't think they even need to make movies where people think at all. They say all this plebs eat that stuff up, and so why should they actually try? Yeah, that's true. And the thing is this the selection of movies out there are so shitty that this is actually performing well because people just want to see something. I went and saw it. It got me to go and leave the house to go do that. Yeah. She has a single white woman lifestyle she needs to keep up. I mean, yeah, they could have at least even tapped into that, being like, oh man, I'm just on a lot of debt. I could really use this money. Like, yeah, because of hot chicks in shorts. That's basically it. Oh, why? Bright colors and fake fire. This movie's crazy. So yeah, that was one thing here. Yeah, the characters don't really start in any authentically at all. So there's Scarlett Johansson. She's hired by this guy here. Let's see. Did they show his face in the movie? Yeah, this guy. The guy kind of like looks like Drake Bell from Drake and Josh. This guy. So this guy works for some big pharmaceutical company, and what they need to get these specimens so they can continue their research so they can cure heart disease. And just through passing, they mentioned that her mother died of heart disease. And that was another thing I wrote, is that the using dialogue to clean up bad situations. I wrote that note because it's like, you didn't do any of the legwork for me to give a shit. So you're like, oh, wait a minute. What's the motive for these characters? I don't know. Just throw some dialogue randomly in the scene. And that's what they kind of did. So, yeah, he's the guy that is representing the pharmaceutical company. He goes out there with them on this expedition, right, to make sure it goes off right. She's the expert in setting off this expedition. That other black guy in here is like her business partner on this. And then the guy with the glasses is the one who can, like, this guy, his background is that he studied under Dr. Grant. There are no cameos of the other characters, but it is kind of in the same world. So he's the one who can help them kind of like find the dinosaurs. And what is his arc? Okay, well, so he's got, he works in a museum about dinosaurs. But the problem is after the movie Dominion, right? So the concept, which I haven't seen, but I could kind of figure out like the gist of it, which, you know, because at the end of Fallen Kingdom, basically there's dinosaurs now just roaming the rest of the earth, right? They finally have all kind of spread out across the world. So in Dominion, that's the environment that they're in. And so that this movie picks up where most of the dinosaurs from that time have kind of died off because they can't survive in all these different elements across the world. A lot of them can only really just survive now. Mostly they just survive around the equator. And so there's these like no-go zones in the equator, kind of like Antarctica, that all the governments in the world say, hey, you can't go there. It's quarantined. So that's kind of the concept, right? They just kind of slap that together. And the idea is that the general public just doesn't give a shit about dinosaurs anymore. And so because of that, his whole museum and knowledge, you know, of dinosaurs, no one going there. It's like going bankrupt. So, you know, they're selling him on like, well, look, you'll be able to like retire off of this if you go do this. And he's only going there because he's never seen a dinosaur in the wild. He's only studied it at like a zoo. Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Dominion, Rebirth. Yeah, that's how it goes. I like how we can build parks in the games in Canada and other snowy areas. Well, yeah, because that's how the Dominion, I'm assuming, again, I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming that's kind of the idea is they just go everywhere. So, so that's kind of the thing. But they don't like I said, these situations aren't really set up all that well, and they just kind of sprinkle in some random dialogue that is spoken and written poorly. It's acted poorly. It's Marvel acted very poorly, where everyone's kind of above it and too cool for the room, and they're just, even the nerd guy isn't even the nerd guy. He's the cool. Everyone's just trying to be as cool as they can be, except. So here's the B plot of the film, is the family plot. So there's a father and his two daughters, and his eldest teenage daughter brought along her boyfriend on this trip, and they're on this trip where they're sailing through to like Barbados or something. I don't know. It's a boat he's built, and they've done it before, and they're having one last trip as a family. They're, it sounds like the daughters live with the mother, so he's like a divorced father. He's trying to, like, this actually has the most grounded story, right? And they want to go or the father wants to go and take this trip, and the daughter brings around the boyfriend. The father doesn't like the boyfriend because he's very lazy and he's not contributing, and it's kind of ruining the trip because he really just wanted to bond with his daughters. And then while they're out in the ocean, all of a sudden one of the water dinosaurs ends up like flipping over the boat, and there's a whole sequence of that. And so they're calling for help. So while the expedition group is going out there, they are able to kind of save them because they're in the same area, luckily. And so that's the circumstance in which both groups end up together, and then within probably 10 minutes later, they end up being separated through the rest of the movie. And they have to like wander the island because the big boat that they're on ends up crashing. So that's it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole setup. And so you have this whole B plot with this family, civilian family trying to survive. And, they were like, oh, we were told that there is a village that we could find when we were on the big boat with everyone else before that one crashed. And so if we follow these geothermal pipes, it'll probably lead to the village where the helicopter pad is at. So that's what they're trying to figure out, and they're trying to survive it. And it's like there's kids. There's a young daughter who's, like I said, like 8 or 9. And so there's like a few scenes where it's like it's a little bit hairy, and you're like, oh my God, it actually like sucks you in a little bit because they did the groundwork, because you can actually like relate to these people. Whereas with Scarlett Johansson and some of those other people, you cannot relate to them. They're too above it. They're too much. They're trying too bad to be like a Marvel superhero. What was another one here? Unrealistic. Yeah, we talked about the dialogue. The dialogue sucks. Okay. Oh, I wanted to show you this as another great piece of dialogue from The Lost World. Okay. There's a whole scene when Ian Malcolm is trying to get his Ian Malcolm is going and trying to get, so he finds out that his girlfriend's already on the Site B island, right? And now he wants to go and rescue her and get her off the island because he's terrified of it and she doesn't know what she's in for. And he's trying to rush the rest of the expedition crew to get there as quickly as possible. And the dialogue is so good that it's able to actually catch you up with all these characters and give you their personality, but also drive the plot forward. I'm trying to see if I can find that. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. And then there's also the other side, the B plot in The Lost World with the InGen expedition trying to capture the dinosaurs. And then all of a sudden the two groups have to merge together so they can get off the island because both their camps are all fucked up and now they got to call for help. And you got good actors like fucking Vince Vaughn is in that. People forget That's an early Vince Vaughn role. And he plays it very well. It's very well acted. I'm trying to find the scene here. I can only find like the T-Rex scenes. Okay, someone just filmed their television. Jesus Christ. Tell me nobody's got like YouTube I hate when people, why do people film their shit like this? Oh man, look at the time. Nighty night. All right, well, sleep well. Sleep well. That's always the best, yeah. My friend has the Lost World RV playset. He's dead now. My brother had that. My brother had the playset. Yeah, he had like the RV one. I didn't have that. I never had any of the playsets. I had the first movie. I had pretty much everything but the compound. I had the helicopter. I had the Ford Explorer, the Jeep. I pretty much had all the dinosaurs and stuff. Oh, he OD'd on pills? Oh, there you go. Ian Malcolm scenes. Let me just see. I don't want deleted scenes. Or how about this? Okay, this is a great example. This is a decent scene that's kind of setting it up because this sets up the tone of the InGen expedition, right?
Cancel that order.
So this is John Hammond's nephew that's trying to run this, and he's like trying to set up like a base camp somewhere. And this is the guy he hires to run the expedition for him, and then he just
Cancel that order.
What? Why?
This is a game trail, Mr. Ludlow. Carnivores hunt on game trails. Do you want to set up base camp or a buffet?
Let's find a new spot, shall we?
like. Do you not see, like, there's an intensity, there's like almost like a realism in how this is acted? You don't get that in these movies now. They just want to have like a quick one-liner and an awkward look like, what? What'd you say? Say what? What?
Over and out.
Like he's going to tell him off like a real expert would.
Peter, if you want me to run your little camping trip, there are two conditions. Firstly, I'm in charge, and when I'm not around, Dieter is. All you need to do is sign the checks, tell us we're doing a good job, and open your case of scotch when we have a good day. Second condition, my fee. You can keep it. All I want in exchange for my services is the right to hunt one of the tyrannosaurs. A male, a buck only. How and why are my business. Now, if you don't like either of those two conditions, you're on your own. So go ahead, set up base camp right here, or in a swamp, or in the middle of a wreck's nest, for all I care. But I've been on too many safaris with rich dentists to listen to any more suicidal ideas. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest with you. The writing in this film is not as good as the first one. But it was far superior than anything you're going to get now. Yeah, writing was so much better in the late 90s. Yeah. Yeah. It really, really was. Like, again, this is not even like the best. I like it. But as far as quality, I do have to say the first film is a bit better. But this one gives you more Jeff Goldblum and it gives you more dinosaurs, which is always great. So this one's a lot more fun. Or even this. Here's a great thing. This kind of, again, in a minute 40, this sets up the story and the dialogue between Ian Malcolm just visited John Hammond. And then he runs into his nephew who's taking over InGen, who hasn't taken any discipline to attain the knowledge that he's trying to control.
Dr. Malcolm, here to share a few campfire stories with my uncle.
You can convince the Washington Post and the Skeptical Inquirer of whatever you want. But I was there, I know what happened, and so do you.
Okay, so already within about 10 seconds, in his wonderful acting, his passionate, like, motherfucker, I'm kind of scared because of the situation I'm put into, but I'm fucking enraged with you because I've told my story about what happened on that island, and you've made me look like a buffoon and a crazy person. You can tell them all you want, but I know what I saw there.
I actually believe that everyone who chose discretion did so with some nefarious motive. Signature? Even Lex and Tim?
Leave them out of it. It's not a game.
No, it isn't. You signed a non-disclosure agreement before you went to the island that expressly forbade you from discussing anything you saw. You violated that agreement.
Yeah, I did.
So there you go. It's like, oh, it looks like Ian Malcolm was the one person out of the group to violate a non-disclosure agreement, and therefore the giant corporation went and tried to and basically ruined his career. So now he's sitting here with no career. And again, this is all well written, well acted. In 30 seconds, you have the motive for why Ian Malcolm is so spiteful and is so passionate about trying to, and he's fearful of that island, and he wants to rescue his girlfriend off that island and get off there as quickly as possible. He hates everything about this.
And you lied. You twisted the facts surrounding the deaths of 3 people, and you stuffed misinformation down the public's throat, which made me look like a nut. Hasn't been so good for my livelihood.
You made a generous compensatory offer for your injuries.
That was a payoff and an insult. And when you spin reality, when you cover up evidence, it hurts. It ruins more than just my reputation.
And look at how it's acted. He's just busy signing documents. He's so above it. He's so flippant. He doesn't care. I mean, you really grow to hate this character, right? So at the end, when he is, as he's trying to salvage everything after he brought a T-Rex back to San Diego that terrorizes an entire city, and he's still even then trying to capture the little baby T-Rex at the end that he's eaten. And you as the audience member are almost cheering for this because this guy represents corporate greed and power and corruption and, being able to risk innocent lives in order to make a buck, right? They did all the legwork for you to earn that. Now in this, not this one, in this one, there is that guy, which is the guy who looks like Drake Bell, like I mentioned. This guy, right here. Where's he at? This guy. But it's from the jump. It's already like, oh, this is the corporate character, and he does one thing. He does two things. He does two things in the film, but it's really slapped together. So after they rescue the family, there's the one of the daughters ends up almost falling off the boat because they're trying to escape some dinosaurs, and he doesn't save her because she was going to try to call for help, and they're not even legally supposed to be out there, so he actually doesn't save her to try to, salvage the mission. So there's that. And then later, toward the end, he ends up, after there's some dinosaur attacks, he bails on everyone else at this, little facility in a Jeep with the samples he's got and trying to rush to the boat and basically bail on everybody, right? And so it's like, okay, he tried to almost, the scene kind of reminded me of the Dennis Nedry escape scene because he's driving this thing really fast and he's going off road and he's out of control. And so whenever he's eaten by a dinosaur, spoiler, you're like, okay, I get it. But that's it. He's just a caricature. You don't really, there isn't any story, there isn't any dialogue, it isn't acted all that amazing. Where this guy, in his scenes, he's got more scenes of him acting like a buffoon, an entitled idiot, flippant, not really giving a shit. So you grow to actually despise him, and it's acted well. Old Drake seems like a shitty villain. He is. This is like a weak, I knew from the jump. He looks like Drake Bell and the guy who played, who just died, who played Christian Troy in Nip Tuck. I think it's Julian McMahon. He just died, actually. He was in his 50s. This guy, he looks like a cross between Drake Bell and this guy from Nip Tuck. That's when I was in the theater. I was thinking of that. He played Dr. Noob. Yeah, he died, though. He had, I guess he had cancer. He died on the 2nd, a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, I was going to mention to you the Nip Tuck 2 died, yeah. But anyway, they still have never just have a T-Rex just chomp off someone's head and the blood comes out. No, they don't. They don't do that. That's what they need to do. What they needed to do with this film was make it closer to the book, the original book, and actually make it a horror film. And they had 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It probably started that way, and then they just kept cleaning it up until it was like this it was marveled to death.
It hurts.
I recall, your university revoked your tenure for your selling wild stories
I
to the
didn't
press.
sell
I
anything. I
hardly
never
see
took a
that.
cent, and I told the truth.
Your version of it?
There aren't any versions of the truth, and I'll tell you something. InGen can't keep spewing out.
InGen is my responsibility now, Doctor, and I will jealously defend its interests.
Your responsibility? What about Mr. Hammond?
It is our board of directors which I must look in the eye, not my uncle. Really, you must trust me. These problems of yours are about to be rendered moot. In a few weeks' time, they'll be long forgotten.
Not by me.
Careful. This suit costs more than your education.
Like, it is just so... You don't get a scene like this at all. As much as I love Jurassic Park, these scenes are always above your head. Really? No, these scenes give away everything. This sets the tone. As a kid, you don't watch. I remember as a kid, I would hear these scenes and I didn't really take it in. And so then as an adult, when I rewatched it, or I say as an adult, like 18 plus, and I would rewatch it and I was like, oh, okay, there's actually a story here. And they're actually doing the effort to set up a story. And they're doing it, again, this is the actual skill that's involved here. In the most economical way, they are able to write very efficiently and effectively a set of dialogue that sets up the relationship between these characters. And then the actors are so skilled that they're able to deliver it in a very compelling way. Again, you just don't get that with the new one. Yeah, I even wrote a Pixar film has more depth than this film. And it's true. A Pixar film does have more depth than what this film is. This film it's like half the movie that doesn't involve the family that's stranded feels like they're not even taking it seriously. You actually realize how sad the scene when Buzz realizes he can't fly and is actually a toy. Yeah. There isn't any of that depth here. Like, there's a death. The first death in the film, I was like, are they going to kill this guy off this quickly? I mean, they didn't really give us much of a background. I guess they got to use him for dinosaur fodder. And they just killed him. And it was like, I was like, I feel nothing out of this. This wasn't exciting. They didn't earn this. Stop it, Stinker. No, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. But yeah, this is just so rough. I'm not sure they are sure what type of movie they're making. The too cool for the room attitude kills the movie. The family plot is where the actual suspense occurs, like I said. So yeah, I was like, I wrote that down. I was like, I don't know. Like, do they know what type of movie they want to do? It doesn't seem like it. It really doesn't seem like they know. Yeah, oh yeah, and what are the character growth arcs? There isn't any. There are no arcs. I wrote that down as a question to see if it was going to be answered. I wrote that down earlier in the film to see if that was going to be answered with anybody, and the answer is no. Nope. I mean, again, technically, she's in it for the money. She's going to get paid $10 million to go do this. And then she sets up, in this scene actually, she introduces the corporate guy who looks like Drake Bell to her partner, which is this guy here. This guy. And then they run a scam being like, oh, no, I'm not going to do it. And then she basically is like, hustles the corporate guy and is like, oh, but if you double it, I'm sure he'll do it. And he's like, done, I'll double the money. So you'll get $20 million. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I already have this plan already written. And you can say, oh, it's already a hustle. Ha ha. Like, that's it. That's the whole setup. Like, everyone's just so flippant. There's no apprehension to go to this island. There's no apprehension about any of this stuff. There's no weight. There's no dread. Again, if you look at The Lost World, there is a dread. There's a fear. Let's see. Let's see the scene with his daughter. Here. Is this it? So he's wanting to... Yeah.
Word use.
She doesn't even have Sega. She's such a...
So he's there trying to rush everybody to get ready to go on this expedition. And he's supposed to have his daughter right now. It's like his time to visit with his daughter. But he has to leave, so he's going to have his daughter stay with some other woman that he knows. And she's bitching about this. And...
Troglodyte.
Cruel, but good word use.
Why can't I stay with Sarah?
Because Sarah is out of town. Karen's fantastic, though. She said she'd take you horseback riding to the movies. You're going to have a fantastic time.
Stop saying fantastic. Where are you going anyway?
It's only for a few days, but I wouldn't be going if it wasn't really important.
I'm your daughter all the time, you know. You can't just abandon me whenever opportunity knocks.
Gee, that hurts my feelings. Did your mom tell you to say that?
Dr. Malcolm, downstairs, please.
You know, sweetie, I know we've had some hard going, but I feel like in the last couple of years, we've really kind of started to work things out. Hasn't it been better?
Yeah, but I want you to crack on me a little bit.
Like, there's an arc here where, like, she wants more attention from her father. Her father wants to do this, but unbeknownst to the daughter, like, he really does have to go on an important expedition. And by the end of the film, they end up bonding more, and they're able to learn more about each other. They're able to grow out of this. This is his whole arc in this film, is part of this. And, of course, you get the child, because Steven Spielberg loves to have a child in danger to build that tension, which is smart, because it does build a lot of suspense. And so you also get that element. You know, that's the kind of the... If you look at any of the Jurassic Park movies, there's always a child involved. Because, number one, the kids relate to that, right? And it gets them involved. I remember as a kid, I saw the first movie in the theater in 93. And I was like, you relate to the children. And that's what helps you love the film so much. And then as I get older, you start to relate to the adults. Why did Malcolm adopt a black child? No, that's his child. And you know what's funny? Is in the film, everybody kind of questions it. Like there's a part, it might be in this, where like, I think it's like Vince Vaughn goes like, do you see any relation there? Like, so it's like, it's obvious, but it's like, okay, well, he's, you know, maybe he was with an African-American lady. So be it. Did the family even at all? Did the family, what even? Did the family even at all? You mean survive? Yes, this family survived, but...
Ground me or something. Send me my room. You never do any of that stuff.
Well, why would I? Because you turned out to be so beautiful and brilliant and powerful and funny and generous. The queen, the goddess, my inspiration.
Dr. Malcolm.
I could come with you. I could be a research assistant like I was in Austin.
This is nothing like Austin.
You see how he sells it? He's able to show like, no, this is nothing like that. He's terrified of that. He's trying to hide it. He's acting. Right? This is called acting. If they tried to set this up today in one of these modern movies, it would be nothing but snappy dialogue, and like he wouldn't even be trying to hide it. He would just try to just downplay it. Oh no, and there'd be little jokes, and then it would be like, but there is a gravity there. We, the viewer, know that he really is truly needing to do this, and he's terrified to go. And he just doesn't want to reveal it here because he doesn't want his daughter worried about him. I thought she was adopted because he didn't mention her in the first movie, and that took place only 4 years earlier. Well, it's kind of set up in the first movie, especially, but even a little bit in this one. He's a bit of a womanizer. He's been with a lot of women, right? So that's kind of the thing. So it's like, oh, you know, he's probably got children everywhere, to be honest with you.
But anyway, you got your own stuff. You got your gymnastics competition. You've been training for that for months.
Gymnastics? I scrubbed out, Dad. I got cut from the team. Thanks for knowing.
Oh, sorry, honey. I know how much that meant to you.
Did these movies make you want to be an archaeologist? No, I didn't actually want to do that. I just like dinosaurs. He's a mathematician anyway. He's not even like he's not even an archaeologist. Oh, you said that about the character development earlier? Yeah.
I like to have kids, but you just don't want to be with them, do you?
Hey, I'm not the one who dumped you here and split for Paris, so don't take it out on me.
Dr. Malcolm, downstairs.
And there's like tension building because he's being rushed to go down there. He's trying to get through this conversation, but his daughter's really upset. He wants to deal with it. Like there's already like a tension that's building out of this non-dinosaur event. Again, none of that happens. Nothing comes close to that in this movie. Nothing. Gymnastics she later uses to beat up a T-Rex is actually a velociraptor, but true, yeah. Yeah, he even says, like, what, they cut you from the team? What? They have to get this out of here. That's okay, perfect. This is actually the second part of this is actually what I wanted to show you earlier, so we'll just let this play.
Honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, you want some good parental advice? Don't listen to me. Don't listen.
How we doing here? Specs say it can't be formed at 12,000 psi, so we just gotta test it.
Okay, well, it's clear. Are we clear?
What is that?
It's a high hide. A high hide. You know, you go up and you hide. High.
It's actually a very convenient biting height.
And it keeps the researchers out of harm's way. You know.
Actually, it put him in a very convenient biting height. What's the time? Do you have the time?
Do I have the time? Why?
We're leaving in 3 hours.
Yeah, she's like trying to rush everybody around. Anyway, she sneaks onto the thing. I guess it's a little bit of a sample of that. So, do you think there'll be another sequel trilogy? Probably. I don't know. I mean, this movie made enough money that they'll probably try to make another one, but they're not going to learn from its failures. It's because it's not a good movie. They're just going to squeeze the hell out of this. It's just because there's nothing, as far as movies go, there aren't very many movies that are of any quality that are made. You have the A24 films, which can be pretty decent. A lot of them are horror movies, though, so I'm not a horror movie guy. But I did like Death of a Unicorn. That one was pretty good. Which Death of a Unicorn kind of plays on the tropes of Jurassic Park and Alien and things like that. I mean, it's pretty. It's given away though because it's like I think the daughter's name in that movie is like Ripley and like what was Death of a Unicorn was good though. It was well written. Acting wise, it could have been a little bit, but it's more of a comedy anyway. It's like a dark comedy type of thing, so it actually worked. Elliot, yeah, the father's name is Elliot. Yeah, it's a little bit of E.T., a little bit of Alien, a little bit of Jurassic Park. It's all kind of mixed in there, but yeah, the father's name is Elliot. Ridley, not Ripley. Ridley is the daughter, let's see. And then they find out when the unicorn dies that it has all these great benefits for health and for pharmaceuticals, and so they want to like capture the horn. But then by doing that, it brings other unicorns, the parent unicorns for the baby unicorn, and they're attacking everyone in the mansion. And there's a whole part where they got to go into the forest that's nearby the mansion, which is very similar to like. Again, it feels like scenes maybe from maybe parts of Jurassic Park, but more even of like Aliens when they have to like, go out into for the sequel. They have to go into like the nest of the aliens. I just want Jason Statham and Vin Diesel in the next Jurassic Park. I mean, they might as well just do that. You know? Because honestly, Scarlett Johansson could have been good in this movie, but she played it too cool. She was just she was too much of like a kick-ass woman. We don't need a kick-ass woman. What I want is someone vulnerable. I want someone that I can connect with. How about this, for example? Everyone shits on the first Suicide Squad because it's not a great movie. It was supposed to be a dark movie, and then because of the success of Deadpool, they had to go do reshoots and re-edits to make it lighter and more comical. But it was supposed to be actually a dark film, like a rated R film, or as close to that as possible. But if you notice, Will Smith's character in that movie actually has a very grounded story. They don't really do much with it and you can tell, but he's there trying to take care. He is doing everything for his daughter, but unfortunately he's a criminal and he's put in there, and he's, that's his arc to try to get out to be with his daughter again. Like that movie, there's more vulnerability with Will Smith in that movie than there is with anyone in this movie, in Rebirth. The Rock and Kevin Hart will be in the next one. It might as well. Just do that. Just do that, and it'll make it fun. Make it like a Jumanji movie where they're making jokes at all time. Make it like the Minecraft movie. Do it like a chicken jockey thing. Might as well. Fuck it. Just go crazy with it now. Why try to take it serious? And again, even the scenes with the dinosaurs in this movie, with the exception of that T-Rex scene with the raft, none of them were that interesting. None of them were that interesting. I could give a shit. I could really give a shit. Like, I don't know what it is, but I get like an overload. Maybe it's my tism. But when I go to see a movie in a theater with all the loud sounds, and that's all you see is, it's a dark room, and you have this giant screen in front of you, and I go to an upscale theater, so it's a very nice experience. I'm usually, I usually try not to go when it's crowded. And what'll happen is I get this overload. I get this kind of like I get too stimulated almost. And I get to a point where I don't cry, but I can kind of I get this feeling inside of like emotion. Like I just get filled up with emotion. For example, I can name off some recent scenarios when this happened. When I saw Beetlejuice, the second one, in the beginning of it, with the theme song, and then it's them, going through the model of everything. And I remember just sitting in the theater. I'm like, oh my God, this is just nostalgia overload. And I'm just like filled with this emotion. It doesn't make me cry, but it just brings me to this emotional point that's very similar to that feeling. I don't know how else to describe it. You saw the new Jurassic Park. It was mid. It's slop. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about here for the last almost 2 hours. And yeah, it's just or Deadpool and Wolverine. There was a few scenes, especially toward the end with the big shootout with all the other Deadpool clones and stuff like that, where it was like, oh man, it's so dope. Or when they have the scene where it's like they have all the throwback from like the Fox Marvel movies all trying to work together. Shit like that. I'm trying to think, what other movies have I seen? That get this emotion out of it, where you're just kind of like, ooh, this is really doing something. In this movie, in Rebirth, again, the only scene that kind of made me feel a little bit of that was again with the T-Rex scene. That's it. Everything else, all I could think about was when the guy's name was Duncan and they're yelling for him. All I could think about was my cat, and I just wanted to go. I wanted to go home, and then because I wanted to check on, I started to miss my cat, and I was just taking notes because I was like, I have to get this out of me. I have to go home. I'm gonna do a quick stream, and I have to get this out. No Country for Old Men. That's a good one. If I would have I never saw it in a theater though. I back then I just pirated things because I had no money. So, but I would have probably felt that way. I want to see Jason Statham punch a raptor in the face, right in her face. Joe Dirt was awesome in the theater. I think I saw it in a theater, but it was so long ago I don't remember much of it. But there was just there's certain movies like that that'll make me kind of feel that. I'm trying to think. So, Sonic 2, the scene where they and it kind of pissed me off because the sound was a little not out of sync, but the speakers, the surround sound wasn't set up properly. It was certain speakers weren't as loud as others, but the scene where they become like Super Sonic and Super Shadow, and it plays like the music from the Sonic Adventure 2 theme for like a minute, and it kind of made me like, ooh, this is hitting all like the right stuff here. This is good, I need to play Sonic 1. I think I've done that on stream. I think I beat it. Husker do's, Husker don'ts. Man, fuck Sonic. See how far you can't get. Dude, I could beat all of them. I would be willing to do a marathon of beating all of the Sonic games. And then, well, not all of them. The first two I could get through pretty easily. Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles is a bit of a longer one because when I consider beating that, I mean you have to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds, 7 Super Emeralds, and you have to beat it with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in their own storylines because their levels are a little bit different. So that alone would probably be like a marathon on its own. Willing but able? I'm able to do it. I just have to set aside the time. And I'd have to figure out a way to make it engaging. So that would be the challenge there. So, but yeah, that's what was missing in this. Engaging. Yeah, that just doesn't. It doesn't work. All right, now let me scroll up. Slit sent some links in here, and I didn't get to it. I kind of yelled at him because I was in the middle of something. I was trying to get through this thing, and he went to bed. And I apologize, but I needed to get the thoughts out before I started like going down a rabbit hole. I think Uncle Stinker may have sent something too. Hold on, let me scroll up the chat a long ways. I should have opened them, but I was just in the middle of something. I needed to get it out before I forgot where I was at. Let's see, there was that, and then there was another thing he sent. That's the tier maker. Yeah, we'll end with that, and then we'll do, let's see, Nipsey Dazers. What is it? Yeah, move on. Get slitted. Nipsey Dazers, with or without the scooter stick. One single whistling kitty. Oh, yeah, these are the... Pog. Oh, thank you. Pogs found me over on Kick as well. Look at that. I appreciate being your hero. You saying that I'm your hero. All right. So let's go here. What was this? This was a concept. Oh, so I'm not the only one to say this. Is it me or the mutant dino in Jurassic World Rebirth are kind of similar to the original concept art of hybrid dino in canceled Jurassic Park 4? So maybe I'm wrong, but when I saw the mutant dino that will appear in Rebirth, I thought it was the same design from the human hybrid dino from the scrap Jurassic Park form. What do you think? It probably is part of that. They probably use that as a lot of this stuff is just like reused, recycled ideas from like the books, the previous movies, other ideas. Here you can see the actual face. Well, obviously this is before the movie comes out. Looks like it has a tumor on its head. It has like a bunch of extra arms and stuff too. Imagine it was 2 embryos fused together. No, and guessing isn't necessary since they literally already said where the design inspiration came from. However, I have no doubt that we will learn that the mutant is not entirely a genetic accident, but the result of InGen doing some shady experimentation. Well, surprise, surprise, you don't find out about any of that. You don't. It explains nothing. There is no part of the story that even dives into what this is at all. Not at all. Nope. You know, in the first Jurassic World, they kind of explain about like, oh, we have this like new Indominus Rex that were just created, and it could do all these crazy things, and they explain why and all this other, and then it's like, oh, that escapes, and that's what destroys it. It's like, maybe, you know, so again, maybe you can play God to create dinosaurs as they're intended to be, or as close as possible, but once you start going beyond that, that's what causes problems. But with this, it's like, nah, we're just gonna have some weird mutant thing. It's kind of scary, and just, you know. You've been following my kick for ages? Oh, I did not know that. I appreciate it, though. It was able to help me get monetized over there, so appreciate it. So, all right, so let's do this. Oh, wait, let me see. Do I got to sign in on this? Oh, this is just for ads. I don't want to enable ads. Oh, I have to enable ads to even use this. God damn it. Go ad-free by subscribing to my... What? So I can't even use this without... All right, so here's the... God damn. These ads are crazy.
You stay categorically... You are fake news. Sir, go ahead. Can you stay...
No, this is real. They're making me do the ads. It's crazy. All right, so here is the... tier list. Kind of blocking it. My camera's... I think I made this too big. It should be here. This is a reasonable size. Okay. So here is the tier list, and it's got all of the Jurassic Park movies, series, and books, including Rebirth, tier list maker. Because the books are a different story. Now, I want to say this, though. I have not read the books in a very, very, very long time, so I don't remember all of them. I remember certain scenes from it. I have the book. Actually, I have a combination right here. I bought this at a Barnes & Noble years ago. It's a combo of the Lost World, Jurassic Park and the Lost World. It's one of these collectible things. It's kind of worn, though. They make these books look like they're like, oh, these are like kind of like leather bound. Bro, I've had this probably for almost 10 years, and it's mostly sat on a shelf, and it's like worn. You can see here, it's like it's kind of worn down. Like the colors have bled and everything. And I haven't even done anything. I just would put it on a shelf and have moved a couple times. Like the spine isn't even broken. I've never read it. I want to, though. But I probably won't read it out of that. I have it on Kindle, too, so. Do you remember the rapper Tube Steaks video outside of Barnes & Noble? No, I do not remember that. Oh, August 3rd, 2023. Really? Damn, you've been on that. I forgot I even had a kick that long ago. All right, so we'll probably... I'm just probably going to say the books are a... I'm going to put them as like a B because I don't remember them. Okay, so we're just gonna knock that out right now. I remember they were good. I just don't remember how good because I was like in high school when I read them. So that was like 20 years ago. Now, as far as the rest of these, Battle at Big Rock. What the fuck is this? What are these? This is Rebirth, but what is Battle at Big Rock? What is Battle at Big Rock? Some of these I don't know what they are. Like, I don't know what any of this stuff is right here. I don't know what any of this is. Oh, the TV show? Yeah, what is Jurassic Park Battle at Big Rock? It's a film? Oh, it's a short film. 2019 short film. It's part of the Jurassic Park franchise and follows the event of Jurassic Park Follow the events of Fallen Kingdom. Set 1 year after the events of Fallen Kingdom, a blended family. Oh, okay. From Oakland, California, goes on to a camping trip in Big Rock National Park. Okay, got it. I've never seen that. I'll have to look that up when I go through the series then. I've never seen that. So there's a bunch I haven't seen then. So these must be the cartoon. Oh, yeah, Camp Cretaceous. Okay, so I've never seen any of these. So here. So, not seen. So we can kind of get these out of here. And I've not seen Dominion. So there's a lot I haven't seen. I don't know what this is. This looks animated. Haven't seen that. I have not seen that. I have not seen this on Netflix. Okay, so there's a lot I haven't seen apparently. But let's be honest. This is the main set of films, okay? Camp Cretaceous is pretty good. Is it a kids show or is it just animated? Did they do like what Star Wars did with like Clone Wars, where it could be like enjoyed if you're really into it? Do you remember Rapper Tube Steaks? He was talking about the dude that made the show The Boondocks. Oh. Yeah, I know The Boondocks. I know that guy. I can't think of his name, but yeah. All right, so let's go off of these actual movies. So, Jurassic Park, I put as S tier. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to put this as A tier. The Lost World I put as S tier. Okay? Lost World is definitely S tier. What do you mean no? Wrong? What do you mean no? Jurassic Park is good, but this one has all the charm of Jurassic Park. The acting, it's got 90% of the acting, 90% of the writing, but it's got like 110% of the dinosaurs. The first is S. No. The first is A. It's good. It's almost an S tier, but it's not quite, because this has got more dinosaurs in it. Jurassic Park 3, I put this. It's one of these. It's not the worst, because it's got good actors in it that actually know how to do it. The story is just bad. The actors look good. The dinosaurs look decent. The feathered raptors, not so much. But, but the story is shit. The writing is shit. Honestly, if it had a better story, better writing, this would probably be up here with the first one in A tier. But that's how important story and writing is. You have nothing without that. Okay, so the Jurassic World. Jurassic World I put as a B tier. Okay, I like that. It's got a charm to it. It is what if the things here actually worked out? And then here is it's kind of like it has kind of an original premise, right? It's like, hey, what if the park was successful and could actually happen? What would come of that? How would that look? Let's experiment with it. And of course, the thrill of the movie is watching the disaster that then takes place on a park filled with actual park goers. What do you do with that? And then the Fallen Kingdom is the aftermath of that. And I put that up here with Jurassic Park 3. The first half of Fallen Kingdom is kind of weak. I'm going to be honest with you. But the second half actually, again, is more of an original idea of what to do. I'm wrong? I'm not wrong. Kind of like that, focused on a group of kids where they're staying at this different part of Jurassic World when the park was sieged. You talk about Jurassic World? Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of cool. That was kind of like, I liked that idea because, again, now the kids have to survive. And what are they tied to? Well, they're tied to the executive, the redhead. I can't think of her name. So that's the emotional weight for her, is to save those kids. She's kind of in that John Hammond position. So then Chris Pratt not only has to go and try to run the expeditions to get this Indominus Rex taken care of, but then also has to rescue her nephews or something like that. Her name is Ron Howard, yeah. And William H. Macy is, William H. You have William H. Macy in the third one. You have the guy who plays Dr. Grant. So those are pretty good actors. The woman who plays the wife of William H. Macy, I can't think of her name. She's okay. She's kind of annoying, but it's okay. She's a bit of a harpy. But I'll say Rebirth, D tier. I've not seen Dominion, so I don't know where to measure this. And this other stuff is just all TV shows and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I can't logically measure that. But, so these, I really wouldn't include the rest of these other things. But as far as Dominion, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure there, but I will say Rebirth is straight up D tier. It's trash. It is garbage. It is the worst. It is the absolute fucking worst. There is nothing redeemable about this movie. Nothing. There is not. Again, there was that one scene on the fucking river raft. That's it. That's the only thing that was redeemable. Everything else was a waste of time. It was slop, as was described earlier. Straight up fucking slop. So, this is actually, I had someone ask me about this. This is what kind of motivated me to go see the movie too. So someone texted me a while ago. This was... Oh wow, this was like the 27th last. This was almost a month ago. Jesus, this was a couple weeks ago. So I was asked if you had to rank all the Jurassic Park World movies best to worst, what would be your list? So I said The Lost World is the best. As with most movies, more Goldblum equals more better. Jurassic Park, it's a well-written movie, well acted, has the least amount of dinosaurs, but is still mesmerizing. Okay, so that's number 2, as we have here, see? Then I say Jurassic World, a great nostalgic look at what if it actually worked, right? Well, that's B tier, so this is pretty accurate here. Fallen Kingdom, I feel it's the most experimental of the series. Saw dinosaurs in different environments. The final stretch in the mansion reminded me of Alien. Okay? Jurassic Park 3. At the time I said that was the worst. It's like watching Batman Forever. It was cool as a kid, but overall was disappointing. Okay? And that's how I still feel about Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic Park 3 would have been, if I did not see Rebirth, Jurassic Park 3 would be a D. But after watching Rebirth, it actually got promoted up to C tier. That's how bad Rebirth is. It actually promoted Jurassic Park 3 to C tier. So. And then the person I texted said it was a perfect list and it was identical to theirs. And then I won't read you what I wrote after that. It was a great thing, but I was very happy with my response to that. But I'm not a big texter, but when I text, I take my time and I write something well thought out. So you better appreciate it.
You are fake news.
No, I'm
Sir,
telling
go
you.
ahead. Can you stay?
This is how I operate. This list is invalid. You haven't seen like 60% of them. These are all different seasons of a TV show. This is like season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4. This is all the same show. This is all bulk bullshit. Technically in this, there's 1, 2, 3 things I haven't seen. The rest of this is all just a TV show on Netflix. For whatever reason, they broke them into seasons. I don't understand that. Who did you text? Was his name Harvey the Rabbit? Ha ha ha. Maybe it wasn't even a he. How about that? How about that? I bet her name was Thickwick. What? Thickwick. So yeah, this is most. So I really haven't seen. I haven't seen a short film. I haven't seen an animated show on Netflix, and I haven't seen the sixth movie in the bunch, which I will see this week. It's going to be on my list. So later this week, I will give a review on Dominion. No good? What do you mean no good? This is good. So we'll update this in due time. In the meantime, I'm going to share this on Twitter. I got to be careful if I'm opening up Twitter. You never know what you're going to pop up with. Most people I follow don't really post anything too crazy, but if it puts you in the For You tab, fuck, it gets wild over there. All right, so I think that pretty much does it. Yeah. I think I accomplished everything I wanted to cover tonight. Like I said, tonight was short. I said I was going to do a short one today. It was a little later than I thought, but like I said, I had an opportunity to go to the movies. So why would I pass up on that? And I wanted to see it, but unfortunately, I had to. My mind was preoccupied with, having to write all these notes here. Did you hear Elmo's Twitter got hacked? No, I haven't been on Twitter like all day. I don't know what's going on. I know nothing. I know of nothing. I mowed the lawn today. I got some work done. I didn't even take back the returnables. I went to the movies. Had some dinner. And then I came back. As soon as I got home, I was like, we gotta get this stream out. I gotta get these thoughts out of my head. I can't go to sleep with this. I almost said a bunch of anti-Semitic things. Hey, that's what's in right now. That seems to be what everyone's wanting to do, is just be anti-Semitic. What is this? No, just that, but yeah, a lot of that. I remember back in the day, Tickle Me Elmo toys were calling kids the N-word. I remember that. All right, what is this? All right, what is this? Candace Owens on government experiments, Eminem diss, and dinosaurs. Dinosaurs seem pretty fake. Well, she's a grifter. She's a grifter. So what do you expect? So what is this?
Dinosaurs are real.
There is a Christ conspiracy that's happening right now, which is the intentional removal of Christ because they want people not to believe in God, but instead to believe in humans. That is what evolutionary theory was about. I was just walking. I was like, dinosaurs? That seems pretty fake and gay. There was no...
Dinosaurs seem pretty fake and gay? Oh, man. That's good. That's good. All right, hold on a second. Hold on. We gotta restart this. I wasn't expecting that. Is that little white boy talking like that? I bet she believes Jesus was white. Probably. Oh, God. Hold on. All right, let's get through this.
You don't believe dinosaurs are real.
There is a Christ conspiracy that's happening right now, which is the intentional removal of Christ because they want people not to believe in God, but instead to believe in humans. That is what evolutionary theory was about. I was just walking. I was like, dinosaurs? That seems pretty fake and gay. There was no concept of dinosaur until 1850. That's very recent.
There's no concept of dinosaur until 1850. Yeah, probably because people were able to kind of just freely explore things with more modern technology to survive the elements and just kind of dig things up and share information. And by the way, that was when America was formed. So any discovery in America was then, that knowledge was easily transferred amongst other scientists or paleontologists or whatever you want to call them back then. And so I bet there was evidence of dinosaurs in like China and Russia and things like that. But back then, information wasn't traded as freely as it is now. And so I bet if you were to ask someone from China about historical dinosaur findings, they would probably be able to say, oh, yeah, from like a few hundred years ago, we have some records of it. But no one in China was trading information with people in the United States in the 1800s. It just wasn't happening. Probably because they were going through like famines and things like that. And they weren't really in a prosperous society at the time as we were, especially during the frontier era of the United States. I don't know, just a thought. She's the millennial female Uncle Ruckus. She kind of is. You know what's crazy though? As much as I disagree with her and I think she's fake and gay, I would date a woman like this. I would date a woman. She'd be. I mean, I would, because you listen. I'm a big believer in you don't need to believe the things I believe for me to love you. You know what I mean? That's the thing. She's kind of my type. She would fight with me. That's what I would love that. Oh man, the arguments would be so great. I would love that. I would love it if I came home and I was dating someone like her and they just wanted to pick a fight with me because they called dinosaurs fake and gay. Man, would that be so great. Would you watch that Boss movie with her? She'd probably love it. By the way, that's a true story, okay? I was dating a girl that wanted to watch that movie.
But then later there's running.
So,
and
oh my goodness.
Screaming.
Welcome. Keegan coming in with a raid. Welcome in. We were just kind of wrapping up the evening. I had gotten back late at midnight tonight. And I had went and seen the new Jurassic Park movie, and it was atrocious. It was really, really bad. It was a bad film. I sat in the theater, actually, and I wrote up about 16 different lines of notes, and I covered that this evening. I was, to the chagrin of everyone that was around me in the theater, I was that guy on my phone being like, no, hold on. I gotta write this down real quick. I got to write this down that there's too much Marvel acting going on here. So if you just watch the VOD, I'm not going to recap it. You got to just go watch the VOD and you'll get the whole breakdown. Here's the best example I can give to you right now to hopefully inspire you to go back and look at that. But you guys came in at an interesting time, though. The new Jurassic World was bad. Super Sage. Yeah, it was not good. The new Superman was bleep, blop, blorp. I've not seen it. But this is the best explanation I can give. This is the most simplest synopsis, and then we'll go back to this video that Uncle Stinker sent me. That sucks. The last movie they did wasn't good either. That's the only one I haven't seen. I did share, actually, a tier list of on Twitter, because we just did a tier list of it. And now this was a very in-depth tier list. So it was a very in-depth tier list. So it included like all the TV shows and everything. Jesus Christ, the ads. It's like a porn site with these fucking ads. Now, it included all the TV shows, like every season of the Netflix show. So this is all down here. I've never seen the Netflix show. So that's all this. So really the only movie I haven't seen is Dominion, the sixth one here. But other than that, this is how I put it. Lost Worlds is S tier. Jurassic Park, the original, A tier. It would be S tier, but Lost World has more dinosaurs in it and more Goldblum. The books, I haven't read them in about 20 years, but I put them as a solid B tier because I can't remember them. I remember certain scenes from it. Jurassic World is a B tier. I liked it. It's a great experiment of like, what if it actually worked? Fallen Kingdom is C tier. It's pretty solid. The first half sucks. The second half is actually interesting. Jurassic Park 3. Now, originally, before I saw Rebirth, Jurassic Park 3 would have been D tier. But Jurassic World Rebirth is so bad, it actually bumped Jurassic Park 3 up to C tier. So that's where we're at. So, a what site? I don't know what those are. Tier lists? That's what they are. They have a Netflix show? Yeah, there's apparently it's an animated Netflix show called Camp Cretaceous. I've heard of it. I've never seen it. I don't really subscribe to Netflix all that often, so. And when I do have it temporarily, I am not watching animated shows. Usually watching like the Menendez Brothers show or something. Yeah, I didn't know there were sites for these tier lists. Oh, wow. Yeah, there is. There's a whole, it's called tiermaker.com. So anyway, and then the best explanation, it comes from this scene. When I watched the film, Rebirth, this is what I thought about the entire time. Okay? So if you've seen the first film, you remember this scene. They had just gone and seen the Raptors feed. They come back here. They're talking about the capabilities of what the park can do. And so as I watched the film Rebirth, I was in the position of Dr. Ian Malcolm in this, okay? So in this conversation, as it plays out, understand that I am Ian Malcolm, John Hammond, and the lawyer are Universal, the filmmakers, and everything like that, okay? And as I was watching the film, I just thought of this scene over and over again, okay? And this is why.
Absolutely spectacular design, spared no expense.
And we can charge anything we want, $2,000 a day, $10,000 a day, and people will pay it.
This is the studio talking about the film and how much they want to do this. A YouTube chef remade the Chilean sea bass they ate. I believe it. Every franchise is being ran through the mud as if the earth is dying. I know.
And then there's the merchandise. And I can personally...
Donald. This park was not built to cater only for the super rich.
And see, the studio's like, listen, we're going to make a good movie. People are going to love to buy the toys. They're going to want to watch Camp Cretaceous. They're going to go buy tickets. They're going to take their kids to the theater multiple times. But we're going to make it a family film, okay? Even though we're branding it as if we're going to tap into the theme of the original book, which is a horror movie, even though the trailer kind of hints at that, we're not going to do any of that. And the families are going to love it.
Everyone in the world has the right to enjoy these animals.
Sure, they will. What, we'll have a coupon day or something.
And this is me. This is now me sitting in the theater as I'm being pitched this.
Gee, the lack of humility before nature that's being displayed here staggers me.
Yeah, just the lack of humility just to kick off a seventh film in a franchise that seems to be directionless at this point. Staggering.
Well, thank you, Dr. Malcolm, but I think things are a little bit different than you and I had feared.
Yeah, I know. They're a lot worse.
Now, wait a second. Now, we haven't even seen the part where
Donald, let him talk. There's no reason. No, I want to hear every viewpoint. I really do.
Yeah, don't you see the danger?
Okay, so now this part in particular, this line in particular was running through my head where I'm like...
Danger, John, inherent in what you're doing here. Genetic power is the most awesome force the planet's ever seen, but you wield it like a kid that's...
Yeah. Intellectual property that is beloved by generations is something, unlike the world has really ever seen throughout history. And you wield it like a kid who found his dad's gun.
Found his dad's gun.
It's hardly appropriate to start hurling generalizations.
If I may, I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power.
This is the part in particular. I'm going to repeat this. I know I've played this like 5 times tonight, but I just really want to drive this point home. Okay? As I was watching the film, I was watching them set up the scenes, and I was watching them set up the scenes that build suspense. I kept thinking.
Power that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility.
Yeah. The scenes were just cobbled together, and then all of a sudden we were supposed to feel suspense. Even though there was no discipline put forth in the writing, the acting, the staging, or any of it, even the special effects, for us to even respect it. They stood on the shoulders of those before them, and they tried to take the next steps, but they don't even respect it. Have you seen the new Jurassic World Rebirth, Melvin? Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Everything moves forward because of member berries alone. All fan service, zero actual good stories or acting. That's the other part. This film tries to not even give you fan service. They're trying to rebirth it. They're going to an island of genetic mistakes So there's a cameo of a velociraptor, and there is the one engaging scene is the one with the T-Rex. That, as I looked it up afterwards, was actually a cut scene that was supposed to be in the original film from '93. And that's why it works. You seen it twice in the last week? Oh my God, I feel bad for you.
For it. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
that's what they did. They just cobbled this movie together and pushed it out there and said, people are going to love it. And the acting sucks. The story sucks. They don't even know what fucking movie they're going to make. These are the things I wrote as I sat in the theater. And I tried to have my little notes app in dark mode so it didn't bother everyone around me. But I know that they probably hated it. And I was like, everything from like the clothes are too perfect. You're supposed to be in the jungle or on a boat, sweating for hours on end, and yet the clothes look like they just came off the rack. There's no actual acting as if we just seen in this scene, but it's all Marvel acting where they're above it. The characters don't really start with any authenticity to their story at all. None of the characters are relatable. I even wrote as a question, are these characters relatable, hoping to answer that later. What are the characters' growth arcs? That's what I wrote also in the beginning. Is there going to be any arc to grow these characters? Spoiler alert, the answer is no. They use the dialogue. They just use shitty dialogue to clean up a bad situation that they put the characters in without any real care at all. The dialogue itself is very unrealistic. This is not how people normally would even talk in these scenarios. Characters aren't even taking their situation seriously. They're just too above it. Again, they're just acting as if they're all Iron Man. I even wrote, what is the tone of this film? What are they trying to achieve with this? It's all over the place. You know, you have a family that's trying to survive in this jungle. Then all of a sudden, separate of that, you have all these like cool expedition people going out there, and it doesn't seem to jive. They don't even really interact. It doesn't even kind of mesh well at all. I even said, is this suspense even suspenseful? The answer again is no. A Pixar film has more depth. Are we earning the deaths that we're watching? Again, the answer is no. I watched someone die. I don't even care. I don't even know who this is. Even at the end, the big corporate greedy person they always insert in these movies, they did such a poor job that when he dies, I don't even give a shit. I'm not sure what type of movie they're making. The too cool for the room attitude kills the movie. The family plot is where the actual suspense occurs, and they don't even utilize it all that well. The conditions for these experts are too extreme. They are. You're supposed to, they grabbed a fucking nerd out of a museum, and all of a sudden he's just rock climbing like an expert. I'm like, what happened here? Why is he Jason Statham all of a sudden? So anyway, that's what you missed out on. I'm just catching you up. I'm recapping 2 hours previously, so welcome in. Then Uncle Stinker sent us this because this.
I will not.
This. So Uncle Stinker then sent this in. And this is where you enter. Yeah.
You don't believe dinosaurs are real.
There is a Christ conspiracy that's happening right now, which is the intentional removal of Christ because they want people not to believe in God, but instead to believe in humans. That is what evolutionary theory was about. I was just walking. I was like, dinosaurs, that seems pretty fake and gay.
Yeah, just walking through life. Dinosaurs are pretty fake and gay, right? So, yeah. Uncle Stinker sent us this. Always an experience, yes. And then I was saying that as much as I disagree with this woman, I probably would date a woman like this because, again, coming home, if I came home and the girl I was dating tried to start an argument with me being like, by the way, dinosaurs are fake and gay, we would have a hell of an argument, but it would be so fun. It would be so fun.
There was no concept of a dinosaur until 1850. That's very recent. Within that same decade, they were like, dinosaur bones. And they started finding them everywhere. I'm like, okay, so nobody found this. And then like suddenly there's entire museums. And in China, they have been caught manufacturing dinosaur bones.
But you think the incentive structure there is to move away from God. You don't believe.
And apparently, yeah, the whole thing is this conspiracy to move away from God, of course. So I don't know. And then what was the other one? Oh, Uncle Stinker sent this one in too. What is this? Racist joke in the dinosaur show, which I liked. I liked the dinosaur show. Is this actually, or is this some like dubbed thing? This is a Mad Lips app, so I can only imagine. Yeah, I try to just find entertainment in things. I don't dissect everything. Dinosaurs is clearly racist against mammals, possibly. I like to dissect it because I truly respect the art of filmmaking. The new JP movie trailer to me was just blah, 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 dinosaur, Scarlett Johansson, dinosaur, silly joke, send. Yeah, that's basically what it is. The first minute of the trailer, you may be thinking like, oh, it's giving me the setup to the movie. I'm sure they're going to dive a little deeper in the movie. Nope. Just watch the first minute of the trailer and you can show up to the movie 20 minutes late. So. I hated the baby dinosaur. Still gives me nightmares. I like the baby dinosaur, not the mama. I had one of those. I had like a little stuffed one that you could push the belly and it would say, not the mama.
I will not have those type of people in our house.
The Browns? The Cleveland Browns.
That's great. That was a good one. That's what I thought. I knew it was going to be something dumb like that. All right. So, anyway, but I got back home at midnight and I said, look, we're going to do a quick stream. We got to review this. And so that's what we've done for the last 2.5 hours. We've talked Jurassic Park. So I encourage you, if you got time tomorrow and you missed out on it, go back and start from the beginning. It's well worth your time. My hatred was justified, but that wasn't even the real thing. That wasn't even real. All right, well, listen. It's 3 a.m. I have to be up in about 6 hours or so, 7 hours, 6 hours. So we're going to wrap up. I kind of was going to do that earlier. Be easy, broski, will do. So we're going to gear up for a raid. We're going to do a raid. We're going to do a host on Kick too. For most of you guys over on Twitch right now. Let's take a look. Yeah, we'll just do a raid. Let's see who is on. And then before that, I do have one other thing to say. Before we raid out, I got one more thing I got to say. Real quick, okay? Broski's getting married tomorrow to Katushka. Oh, my goodness. Damn. Congrats. Nice. Now, is she moving to America with him, or is he moving to whatever European... I forget what European country she's in. Yeah, life will always find a way. Oh, she's already here? Oh, okay, perfect. Nice. Look at that. Twitch is building relationships. That is so great. All right, who do I follow that's on? Looks like it's all girls that we got here. We have See You Next Tuesday doing Fantasy Life. The Girl Who Steals Time. There's Silly Millie Games doing Ocarina of Time. And then I got Relaxing Beats, which is it's an animated girl, but see, all girls, huh? Sounds gay. Thank you. Have a great day. We'll do it. I'm probably going to Millie. Well, let's just go do that then. But before I send you off there, okay? Before I send you off, I am going to say this, All right. I do appreciate everybody hanging out. I do appreciate the raids and the hosts today on Twitch and on Kick. I appreciate that from everybody. And I appreciate everybody hearing me out as I passionately vent my frustrations. Tonight was a good evening overall, but that movie just was very upsetting. But I do appreciate it. And I appreciate it so much. I appreciate it so much that if you were to say this, okay, let's just hypothetically, let's just say this. If you were to go and, I don't know, just for shits and giggles, maybe you decided you were gonna throw a party, right? Yeah, invite everybody. I don't care. I don't care. Say thank you for being a friend. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow evening. Definitely earlier. Probably somewhere like 8, 9 o'clock. We definitely have some other things to catch up on. Cowabunga, dude, thank you for the 300 bits. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you for being a friend. I truly appreciate it, all of you. And we're going to go say hi to Silly Millie Games. And I will see you guys, like I said, tomorrow evening. We have a lot more to cover. See you soon. Bye-bye. And if you're lurking elsewhere,